thanks for having me. Thank you to Chico for having me. Awesome excuse for me to come back. I love coming here every year. So, yeah, we'll talk more about why in a little bit. But I really don't have to go through an intro here. And she even talked about Amazon Business. Do we have any Amazon Business, or no, do we have any Amazon customers out there? Any Prime members? Just want to say thank you for your business. Again, I talk to companies like large companies that produce the gasoline you put in your car, or large companies that produce the cell phone you might be carrying around. My job's to get them to spend a lot of money using Amazon Business, which is the business version for office supplies, IT equipment, janitorial equipment, things like that. So that's what Amazon Business does. Why did I choose a career in technology sales? So just to give you some perspective, I am not a manager, never have been a manager. I've been what we call an individual contributor my whole career. It means I've been a sales guy. All I want to do is work with accounts and work with my teammates. I don't really want to hire and fire people. So just preference. Even though I was a management minor, I've never managed anybody. Why do I like sales? Freedom. One, there's no right way to do it. There's multiple guys on my team. We are cut from different cloths, have different personalities. Everyone's having success. So you can focus on your strengths if you go ahead and choose a career in sales. Second reason, variety. I love talking to different companies every day. As a sales rep, I'm not just going to the same campus every day. I'm going to an oil and gas company. I'm going to a cell phone manufacturer. I'm going to software companies. So I like the variety it presents. Keeps me fresh. Keeps, if you're not going to love every customer isn't going to love me. So that's where variety comes into play as well. And then the rewards. Sales pays a lot of money. And I remember trying to figure out what I was going to do with a speech comm major and a management minor. And there were a ton of sales jobs on campus. And I gravitated to sales just through that way. I mean, my experience was probably not as strong as some of the experience in the room here as far as what kind of experience you had. I was the guy at Ray's Liquor for 2 years, loading kegs into cars and renting out inner tubes. So that's I had to parlay that into getting hired in on-campus interviews, and I did. And I'm happy to talk about that later tonight. Advice, though, don't judge yourself too soon. You're going to have failures. That first job I got, there was 150 kids that interviewed for it. I was the only one. I failed. 9 months later, I quit that job. I wasn't the right fit. I was ready to give up on sales, too. And then my sister was the one who saved me and said, look, maybe you're just selling the wrong thing for the wrong company. So don't make an immediate career 180 if the first opportunity you have does not work out. Understand why it's not working out. I'm 25 years into selling now, and it's probably all I'll do. Mentors. Choose the right mentors. It's similar to choosing your friends, but you don't have to. I gravitated to two guys at a particular company I was at. I've been at Oracle, SAP, Adobe, and now Amazon. The two guys I gravitated to at first were super, super successful sales guys at Oracle. What I later found out, and as I worked with them more, I was the inside sales rep, kind of their home base, and they were the outside guys meeting with the customers. I found these guys weren't super ethical. I found they weren't helping their peers. I found that they were stomping on people to move to the top. They were top earners, making a lot of money. Both of them were building their own homes in the hills. And I got a little concerned about that because I was saying, do I have to be that way? And the answer is you don't. It's just like choosing your friends. Use your gut, use your heart. I'm lucky for the fact that the next company I went to, I met an awesome guy who was having the same successes, yet he was ethical. He was trying to make all his peers better around him. So just know that going forward, that you're going to see people have success in business. Some are doing it the right way. You're going to see others doing it the wrong way too. Just stick to what you feel is right, especially when you're choosing mentors and who to mimic. And be yourself. I remember meeting with the CIO when I was at SAP, and my boss said, "Who was that guy in the room?" I said, "That was the CIO." He said, "No, who was the other guy?" I said, "It was me and you. What are you talking about?" He said, "That wasn't Brian Dowling. That wasn't the guy we hired. That's not the guy I go to lunch with." He goes, "I don't know who you were trying to be, but you weren't being yourself." We hired you for the personality traits that we see in you every day. We want to see the person that you show us you are in front of customers. You're going to be more effective in front of customers, he told me, or in any of your jobs, whether you're sales or not. If you're being yourself, let people get to know who you really are versus trying to be someone else. I think I was being a little bit more formal than people in my workplace were used to seeing me be. So, and again, if you're in front of a customer, though, there is a balance. You have to be somewhat formal. Your career is going to have peaks and valleys. Mine has had peaks and valleys too. So similar to not judging yourself too soon, know that you're going to have good years and bad years. It's no different than one of the couple years you had here, or it's no different than how you function in a marriage. I've been married 15 years now. It's life. There's highs and lows. So don't panic when you are hitting any of those lows. I've had them. And if you look at them, I've kind of just ballparked my income, which is how sales guys are measured. But this could apply to anything. But you see a lot of dips. Then you see a lot of large rises as well. Some of the really, really high points in my career have come after some of the really, really low points. And I never left any company at the low point. I have switched jobs before, but I've switched them at the high point. That's also another conversation we can have later. But you want to be leaving a company when you're very, very marketable and doing the right thing and doing good things versus having a down year. But just don't panic if you have a down year. Anyone who says they didn't, they're lying to you. Why are Chico grads so successful? I think about this a lot. I keep in touch with a lot of my friends, and I'm passionate about it. And I couldn't believe when Tim Hines at the Sufferland Sales Program told me that you guys are still dealing every once in a while with the whole party stigma. And I was baffled. I mean, that started in 1987. And if you think, I have a couple stories. This slide was really busy. And the folks at Biz Talks told me I got to really trim it down. But when I think of Chico, I don't think of parties. I think of people who are persistent and resourceful, resilient, and honorable. Lance was my roommate in the dorms. He's been at 2 different startups that have made life-changing income opportunities for him. Terry Rosetto was in my first speech class in fall '88. I was a freshman. I met her. I'm still friends with her. She's one of the #1 real estate professionals in the Bay Area today. And then Mike Nevin, I was in his wedding. He's one of the highest ranked police officers in San Francisco. I think of honor when I think of him. So don't let that label or that what